Hey everyone, this is Luminous. Hopefully coming to you guys with the energetic commentary, because haven't been so energetic. Today we're going to cast, is this a KDX? Yes, KDX and WE. And when I say we, I mean 715 plus Luminous, because you guys enjoyed that last one. So here comes another very strategic, in-depth commentary. 715, for those that did not watch our last commentary, can you give them another introduction? And then we'll move from there.
Yeah, well, I'm 75. I'm from Germany. I am playing for DCCom, and I'm happy because yay, Chinese games.
We are doing a Chinese game. This is a very, very old one from the CPL. But let's talk about that as we unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. I don't know anything from KDX. Maybe you do, and you could talk about them later. WE is kind of up there. I mean, definitely not the most well-known one, but they're still good. They're still good. So I want to say the skill level of these two teams shouldn't be too far apart. We see the pick and ban underway. This is 6.72C, so a little back before than the current version we're talking about. So keep that in mind. Also, you know, 715 last time we did a game for DCCom, so we had a lot more. You know, we know what's going on, what they're thinking. But this time it's not the case because 715 is not Chinese, so he's German. Teaching me French words, no, German words, excuse me. That made no sense. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's not gonna have the most in-depth analysis, but it's still gonna be up there. So let's talk about the pick and ban so far. What do you think about what's happening? Anything unusual that we need to talk about, or just pretty much standard?
I think this is pretty much standard. I'm a bit surprised V is banning out Lycan though, because they play him a lot themselves, I think. But whatever, we see a Shadow Demon first pick. Very, very interesting. Shadow Demon, very good hero.
For
mega
the third
good
time.
range for yeah.
For the third time, 715. Tell us why.
Mega good initiation range.
Okay.
He can just well make illusions of the most imba carry on the imba team, like Lash and Anti-Mage with every items you want to have on him, and then you know Shadow Demon is going to walk up to him. I just make 2 illusions and they'll kill you. That's just crazy. The damage amplifier 50% will just make it even worse for every carry to play against that hero. And the purge, well, just a great skill. Doing damage, slowing, purging buffs. Who knew that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a great hero.
Well said, dude. Well said. Purging buff. But anyways, the picks and bans are going rather quickly, especially for a Chinese team, because usually they slow it down quite quickly. When you see Weaver, Clock, and Venge being picked up, very huge amount of range on Sentinel, especially they have a lot of scouting range as well. So, I mean, I don't usually talk about scouting range, but if you look at the Rocket, the Terror, and the Swarm, they have a fairly easy time in terms of doing a Roshan Jack if they need to do it. Of course, it's still a little bit too early to talk about that. But just keep in mind the range is there, the initiation power is there, the swap and the cog and the hooking, excuse me, it's going to be very very good, especially in picking off the Shaker or picking off a Shadow Demon if it's a little bit out of position. And interestingly, they banned a TIE Hunter on Scourge. I actually think TIE Hunter would have been a great hero against this amount of initiation on Sentinel, but given that they already have Shaker, they really will find a hard time fitting that TIE in, so maybe they just don't want the enemy team to pick it, and they actually...
I actually think they banned the Tide out because it would have made a ridiculous lane in either 2 ways, because Tide and Venge can be just an incredible mean combo, reducing your armor so hard, so that combined with Weaver is a very, very, very strong tri-lane, and even with Razor and Venge and Tide, you'll just have a tri-lane that is incredible hard to play against. And not just only in the laning stage, but also later in teamfights if they just start to focus down one hero.
And Tai could always just come in and be annoying as heck. We do see a Lion being banned, which I suppose is mostly as a protection against the Weaver. Pretty weak against the Lion in terms of getting Blink Hex and Fingered, and that's all she wrote kind of thing. Lina being banned. So Lina is somewhat of a common hero, at least back when this game was played. Very strong double nuke, a stun included as well, and actually a Morphling being banned. Morphling has kind of been phasing out, although I think WE kind of still like to play Morphling, right?
Yeah, I think they kind of did, but WEs anyways, they're kind of unpredictable, because sometimes you'll play against them and, I mean, they were the first. They were just like, we do next Venge jungle, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, dude, that was a sick game. I remember seeing that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and
we don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say right now. Still, this pick is kind of versatile. Where do you think the Shadow Demon's gonna go? Do you think it's gonna go for solo or the support?
I have to admit, this is actually the first Shadow Demon I have seen being played by Chinese. So I have no idea what's popular. I would usually say Shadow Demon as a support is a bit better than Shadow Demon as a solo.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I want to see as well. Because, I mean, Shadow Demon solo, it's like spam W, spam, spam, spam. There's not much, in my opinion, skill involved. But in terms of a tri-lane, the skill of landing a soul catcher is absolutely huge. Because if you do land it, that's one free kill. Like, no question about it. And we see Sven being picked, which I have to say that's very interesting. Sven, again, you guys hear my rant about it. Sven not good in tri-lane, although... you know, we're might gonna see a Weaver Venge Sven trialing, which is quite potent. There's a lot of single DPS, especially the stun time in terms of keeping a target in place and then letting that swarm do that minus armor. Sven is just useless. I feel after the stun, he's done. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I don't only feel Sven being useless in the laning stage, but also he seems to be incredibly useless in team fights. Sometimes when he just doesn't pick off his BKB, I mean, there's a fissure drop by the ES and it couldn't even be aimed on the Sven, but it will just own him so much. He might have to walk around it. He gotta go for a weak hero because he can't fight the Syllabi. We see being picked up 5th, or he's being slowed by the poison, and he will just be running around. Yeah, he'll stun once and then you'll wait 15 seconds until he's good again.
Oh, at least he could cast Warcry, right? What a sick spell to
Yeah.
buff up your team. But we do see the Syllabear being picked up. Syllabear not no longer being picked anymore. He does Assassin Bear, but back in this version, it's still a very powerful hero. Lanes extremely well, and actually they pick up a Pugna, which I feel Syllabear is ridiculously good against Pugna, because he could just send the bear in and kill the ward. Why do you think the Pugna is being picked last? I'm not really understanding that.
Well, I think they might be going for some. Well, as far as I see, Sentinel really wants to finish this game fast. They have like 2 aggressive roaming picks, like Venge and Sven, so they wanted to have another solo lane, maybe a strong mid because they expect the Shadow Demon to go mid. Maybe that was their prediction, and well, I guess a partner could beat him fairly easy. And yeah, we see a Weaver as the only carry. They have a lot of teamfight initiation. The Ward is going to help a lot, even though it's a bit weak against Syllabi, as I said. So yeah, they are going to try pushing on early, I guess.
Yeah, and I think your prediction is correct, as we see both a Smoke of the Sea on the Venge and Venge and Sven. Generally, we see only one smoke being purchased, but it seems like they're going to do a lot of that ganks, as you said earlier. And they are going to leave Clockwork, Weaver, and Pugna on the solo lanes, which, you know, they're going to be fine. They're completely fine, especially the Weaver has great survivability. It looks like we have a tri-lane of a Veno and Veno and Windrunner and Shaker, which I assume the Veno and Shaker both also is going to do a little bit of roaming. They also have 2 smoke being bought, so I'm not too sure whether that's a trendy thing. I just would like to think they're both trying to be aggressive. So this means it's going to be a little bit of an action-heavy game. Action-heavy game. We do see the Syllabear picking up the Invisrune, denying it from the Sven. So that's pretty cool.
And we see actually a lane switch going on, which is not going so good for KDX here. I think they actually saw the Syllabi being down, so they have put the Pugna there going against the Syllabi. But actually, the Syllabi is running top now and will be against the Weaver. I don't know if that was intended by KDX here.
You know, how do you think the lane matchup in terms of Weaver against Syllabi on top?
Yeah, well, I actually think this will be easy for the Syllabus though, because he's pretty safe at that lane, because well, incoming ganks are, well, there's not much space for that, and the Weaver, well, you know, he's good if he can hit you really hard, but I mean, you have a beer and a hero going on you if you're a Weaver, so he won't really be able to fight that guy.
And he doesn't have too much HP to work with. And we are going to see Shadow Demon mid. I haven't seen his. I don't think he has cast too many spells, but it's pretty certain it's 1 level poison right now, and then 1 level disruption. Might take Soul Catcher at 4, but he's probably going to max that poison damage by 7, because that's going to be his prime source of harassment and damage. It's very interesting that they put Clock mid, because I would think that Pugna might have an easier time at least against a ranged Shadow Demon, but it's interesting that they put a melee hero mid. Well, what is your take on that?
Well, I actually think they've just been... Oh, we see an engagement on bottom right now. The Vino being picked off by the Pugna. Fissure coming in the bit late. And the Pugna might be going down to Windrunner. Drops a blast again. Will be fine, actually. And yeah, that's it so far. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they feel like Clock is being their very important hero for their mid game, so that might be the reason why they want that Clock to get him as many items as possible. Maybe they've even been experimenting playing Clock against Shadow Demon and it turned out to be good. I don't know, but it actually seems like they're confident with having the Pugna in the tri-lane, maybe for the Decrypify and 2 heavy stuns combo, even though you can't chain your stuns in a 1.5 second Decrypify.
Yeah,
so I'm not too sure about that.
It takes some inhumane kind of timing to at least, yeah, well, you can't train it properly, but at least you get 1 spell in or 2 spell in. But now it looks like I'm actually a little bit surprised at Scourge. I thought Scourge tri-lane would have the advantage here, because they have better range. I mean, the range is exactly the same. It's 600 versus 600. Veno and Venge both have kind of the same range. But I just feel the spells on the Scourge are a little bit better. They have a lot more AoE in terms of their spell. I'm just surprised that they were picked off so easily, especially having a Fissure, the defensive Fissure, being there. It looks like they might be going to go on the Pugna. Pugna is going to get a Shackle Shot for sure. Good chain stun to prevent that. Now Windrunner might be in trouble. It's actually chasing very deep. There's a magic missile just for the defensive purpose. Pugna, 1 more hit away is going to go down. They might pick off the Veno in the case. Yeah, Veno, 1 more hit. Venge doesn't have the range. Sven, useless after he casts a stun, like said earlier. Great block. No.
What? Look, man, you see his Warcry saved him, man. Like, he got this armor and now he tanked it and had 18 HP after that.
What a champ.
So what a boss.
Right, but no mana for the stun though, because he's motherfucking Sven. Because he got one stun and he's done, right? And he does have the smoke. He's clearing up, but I think at this time he's just better off going back to the base right now to get a little bit of regen. Meanwhile, that Pugna already have a Boots of Speed and a Ring of Basilius, which might not seem like much, but having a Boots before your enemy tri-lane does gives you a lot more kiting power. It actually makes you survive a lot more as well.
Yeah, and we have actually seen a short engagement going on top. Weaver used his swarm, was trying to go for the Syllabir, but he was just like, you know what, my beard takes you, and I kill the Scarabs, so that was like, it's no problem for that guy to... I mean, it's an ant, what do you expect? It's a beer against an ant. He will just trample on it, and so what the hell?
Yo, this ant could like go invis like really fast. So I don't know. Actually, Clock is dying at the mid lane, sort of. He's really low. He's got a regen. What a lucky rune. So he's gonna be fine. Shadow Demon's level 6. Clock just turned 5. I haven't been really paying attention in that lane. But can you make a guess at least what's happening there? Why
yeah, well,
he's so severely out level?
Well, the Clockwork was going for the rune in bad moments, I guess. Like when the Shadow Demon maybe was just he's going for the rune now. Will maybe not get it. The Sven is not going to stun early enough, so we have an invis.
Wow, nice stun afterwards. Okay,
yeah.
Great. They still have their dual smokes not being used yet, so that was actually a pretty big investment, especially at minute 0 to buy 2 smoke, but still haven't popped one of it. And the reason they haven't used it yet, because the pressure on the bot lane is just too much, as we see another engager on the Pugna. Pugna's going to get Shackle Shot. Where's that Shackle Shot? Not just for the power shot. They're going to get that regardless. So now we see the power of the Surge tri-lane kicking in. Ring of Basilius is turned on. They could do a little bit of damage to the tower, but right now we see the roaming actually going against the favor of Sentinel. They were trying to get something done mid lane. Didn't accomplish too much and also lost their Pugna in the bot lane. They might catch off this Veno if the Veno starts to be a little bit out of position, but I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, well, we see a smoke gang on bot now. I'll have an eye on that. But about mid again, there's actually... Oh, now we see engagement on Earthshaker's poor chain stun here. Fissure only... Oh no, it hits 2 targets actually. And Windrunner is just going to walk there safely, yes. Easy thing though. Yeah, I think Clock is so underleveled because Shadow Demon might just have pushed the lane in the right moment. Like when Clock is going for the rune and Shadow Demon is just like, okay, I stay, use poison 2 times, kill all the creeps. There will be so many creeps dying so fast in the Sentinel Tower that Clockwork just missed a lot of XP.
And looks like we have a hook in from the Clock. They're going to find a Venomancer, and they finally is going to get something going for them. They need to get this kill. They do get it. And when I say they finally have something going for them, you got to keep in mind that WE is losing every single lane right now. Bot lane's not being... bot lane's okay right now, but I think they're both losing top, and like we said earlier, they're losing mid as well. And here comes the Shadow Demon. It's going to get 1 kill for sure against the Pugna. Second might be on the Venge. Venge very, very low. He's a hasted Shadow Demon as well. And here comes the Shadow Poison. Clock trying to get something to help. Disruption is going to come in. Teleportation coming in the form of Sven, but again, Sven is not going to get too much accomplished. Shadow Demon very aggressive. He's going to take a stun to the face, and there's a cog. Where's the cog? No cog. There is the cog, and Shadow Demon actually went a little bit too aggressive, and is going to pay for it with his death. And now we're going to try to get something going, but Sven has no mana because he's a useless hero and can't do too much of anything to give chase. Shaker comes around with the stun, and that is the end of it. Gonna just check the... I can't check creeps. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's mega annoying you. And yeah, well, kinda. You said before, WE is losing all lanes.
No, I said Sentinel is losing all lanes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds better to me because that's what actually is happening. I'm not too sure about top though. It's bad that you can't see the CS here.
Let's check the go.
Well,
let's go on the
yes.
Weaver. Weaver's got 1500, and then the Syllabeer.
And yeah, Syllabeer has his boots already, face boots on his spear, and
700.
Does he have?
Yes, 750.
700.
So he's up by 750, I'm assuming.
Yep, so he's winning for sure.
Yep. And now mid lane, Pugna is being ganked as well. So once Venomancer hits 6, and once maybe Shaker... No, Shaker doesn't even need levels. Once Venomancer hits 6, we're going to have huge trouble because Shadow Demon Poison plus Venomancer Poison, that is ridiculous amount of DPS, and I don't think Sentinel's got the HP to tank for that. So I think they're in big trouble right now.
Yeah, what I think will be a really ridiculous combo is actually Soul Catcher and Venomancer ult on one target.
Oh my god.
I mean that thing actually it can kill you alone like Shadow Strike and the ult. Oh, we see Windrunner dying on bottom. Clock on a killing spree now, has his face boots and Swaddle.
Actually doing pretty good for getting rape in lane. So doing okay, yeah, ganking.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah. So
nice little guy. And so we might mention his name. He's called Shadow.
What is
Shout out to Shadow.
What an un-Chinese name. Like, wow. It's not a string of numbers. It's not like, you know, ZSMJ. Meanwhile, we have a kill going on somewhere. I apologize for missing that, but that's the Shadow Demon coming. I think, what is the cooldown on his ult? I mean, every time it cools down, he should get a kill. It's that imbo.
Yeah, and he has picked up his arcane boots now, which makes him really, really good in long fights. Because what you actually lack as a Shadow Demon who's playing solo is the mana to spam that poison. It just costs so much mana, and like you can easily get out of mana in the longer fight. But well, he got his arcane boots. He got rid of this problem now. Even though Bottle is a bit of a bad item with arcane boots because it will just fill up very little of your mana.
Exactly. And what do you think about... I mean, do you think generally Arcane Boots is a little bit better on Shadow Demon? Does he need raw mana or does he need regen?
I think actually you need that raw mana for the fights because if you don't have it and the fight goes longer than, let's say, 30 seconds with some chasing going on, you will just be out of mana.
Yeah,
and that makes it bad. So actually you need regen too, but if you manage your mana pool well, then it's a bit better to have a bigger mana pool.
It looks like we do have Venomancer is level 6, clearing up right now, and does have an Invis Rune, so maybe he could set something up. There's no one mid right now because the Scourge team is just taking the dot tower for free. Nothing the Sentinel could do about it. What Sentinel is hoping, and they're hoping so much right now, is for that Weaver to get big. And it's hard to say right now. Let me check his goal again. He
2.1k.
Yeah, 2.1k. He might just be going a straight relic. I don't see anything.
Oh, we see mid going engagement on the Pugna. On the Venomancer, nice life drain. He is going to save him, I guess. Oh, the Venomancer. Wow, that was close. Like, he thought, oh, that life drain is off me. I can just turn around, but actually it wasn't. And I'm a bit surprised, though, of the reaction of this Pugna. He didn't banish himself immediately after getting hit by Venomancer ult, because that would have get rid of it. So that Shadow Strike damage wouldn't have been too much. So I don't know.
I'm not too sure whether he realized that he maybe to panic. I don't know. It's hard to guess that case, but yeah, you're absolutely right. If he does self-decrypt, and then he's gonna get rid of the Venomancer ult, which for a little bit of mechanics, that's why Ghost Scepter is just pretty good item against a lot of good competitive heroes. Gets rid of Venomancer ult, gets rid of a Ice Blast, Shatter, and amongst other things. So do consider as a core item or even a very situational counter to a lot of heroes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to add here that I'm actually not sure if it works for Ice Blast any longer, because there was some bug fix note in the latest map, like fix the bug with Ghost Scepter and Ice Blast interaction or something. I didn't test if it was that thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see as we see a little bit of smoke gang going on. I mean, Ice Frog is such a bad person. He's been nerfing all the items I love. First it was a Force Staff, and now it's a Ghost Scepter as we see a gank on the Syllabear. Syllabear is in trouble. He may have the bear, but he's 2v3 right now. It's an unfair fight. He's going to try to get a kill, not going to get a Weaver. Very importantly, picks up the kill there and have a little bit of farming room. But what they're losing right now is towers. So Sentinel's like, or Scourge is like, you know what, you could pick off our carries, but we'll get a tower back. So we're not losing everything. Meanwhile, I like what KDX is doing right now, giving Sven a little bit of farm. So hopefully he could be less useless in the mid game.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he can buy a second healing salve soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, stunning those two creeps like a boss.
Oh man, he has
this.
one heal. How the heck? What is this item? So they're trying to get a kill on the Windrunner. Windrunner actually gets hooked very well done. This clock is very accurate in terms of. I haven't seen him miss one. Yeah.
Shadow Demon doing what you said. His ultimate is up, and he is going to grab a kill with it. Easy thing, Sven. No problem for him.
You know what Bamboo say about one rune a kill?
Yeah.
1 ult a kill, man. That should be the new saying for Shadow Demon.
That's it.
So let's check out items here. It's gonna be a little bit difficult in terms of seeing what everyone's got, but you help me on that. Weaver's got what?
3k now.
3k go. Okay.
3k. Yep.
Venge got boots. That's actually pretty good considering that they've been losing the early game. Sven has upgraded his item to boots TP scroll. What a champ! And we have face boots being picked up on clock and a cloak of Divines. Planeswalker Cloak, which is actually ridiculously good against both Venomancer and Shadow Demon, which, well, actually, is it good? I think maybe getting a raw regen against them might be a little bit better because their magic damage isn't. Well, what do you think about that? I don't know. Hard to say.
Well, I don't know. Actually, against that team, it's a good choice. It really helps against kind of every hero, especially the Venomancer, the Windrunner for most parts, and the Shadow Demon DS. So it's actually a really good choice, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Actually, skipping it before even like a Vitality booster or a Ring of Health is, very interesting. But it shows it works. Meanwhile, the top tower is still we have Sentinel or Scourge taking every tower without a fight. Why is Sentinel not fighting? Are they not capable of fighting, or did they choose not to?
Well, I guess at the moment they are really not. You see them getting picked up solo again. I don't know what they're doing here. Oh, Sven stuns the illusions. Very strong. They're going after the second ES illusion. I don't know what they are actually doing right now. The Sentinel, it seems like Weaver is really going to rush that relic. So they are just waiting for it, but they are somehow not really turtling. They are trying to get some ganks going, which is a bad idea actually, because I don't see any real map control. They have one ward at the top rune, and that's pretty much it. So they didn't push a single tower, so they should be more passive. They should try to bait a bit and not go gank actively, like just protect the Weaver maybe, make him go a little bit too far. We saw Shadow Demon picking off 2 or 3 solo kills already, so
yeah,
Sentinel should be more passive right now.
And I think even if the Weaver has a Radiance completed right now, like never mind the Relic, even if he has completed right now, I think the Scourge team entirely is tank enough to withstand a lot of Radiance damage because they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 towers. That's 4k gold. That's enough for 2 Bracer. But we see Mecha completed on the Windrunner, Django completed on Shadow Demon. Syllabear is probably close to his Radiance as well. He has gotten for Face Boots and some assorted items. Venomancer's got a Medallion of Courage. So and our Cream Boots being finished on the Shaker. So they are ridiculously stacked through the fact that they have 4 or 5 tower kills, and now they're gonna get free Roshan as well. And once this Roshan ends up on something, now we have a Sven being a little bit out of position. Hook actually misses, and now we have the stun damage going on Sven. Sven's gonna go down to that poison damage. WE picks up a 2 easy kill and the Aegis. I want to say the game is as good as done, even though it's what 16 minutes in the game.
Yeah, well, I so far agree with you. It's like the problem is the Scourge has finished many important items like Mechanism, well, Arcane Boots on ES. They have a Medallion. They have a Django, I think.
Yes.
They have a Django, yeah, on Shadow Demon, and that's what Sentinel's lacking right now. The Clockwork might be going for Pipe. I don't know. The Pagna doesn't have his Mechanism completed. The Venge is trying to get a Django, I think, because he got a Bracer. So all those items missing in the fights, and not only this, but also the level advantage that Scourge has that makes it very, very hard for Sentinel to win some fights now. They really need to outnumber the Scourge in some situations.
Yeah, the Weaver.
Or they won't be able to.
The Weaver still very close to that relic. You gotta keep in mind that right now they have 2 uses here. Weaver is one and Sven is the other. So any kind of engagement they're going into, they're literally going 3v5. Even though it's a 5v5 engagement, there is still some team holding hand in the jungle, because I guess that's what you suggested to them. They play defensively and bait, but I don't know, man. I don't really know. They're gonna try to defend this tower on the bot, and I think it's gonna end up really badly for them, and they're gonna lose this bot tower and also gonna lose the racks in one fell swoop. We'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah, well, it's they shouldn't really defend this tower. The only thing they can do right now is defend in their base, because they simply, as I said, they don't have the items, they don't have the levels. They have the Sacred Relic on the Weaver now, but we see here the engagement of Shadow Demon followed up by a Fissure. Weaver is already almost dead, and now he's not using his ultimate. I'm not sure why.
They might actually pick off the Venom. No, gets 4 staff out, and that is a huge item difference. There's coming a huge shaker. Claw hooks in a little bit late because not going to get too much accomplished. WE just getting kills, 1 kill after another. Pugna goes down. Weaver, it doesn't matter what he has right now because there's 4 kills going down. Wicked streaks going popped up, and yeah, exactly as predicted. Tower goes down. Everyone gets raped. Racks being taken. Do we need to continue 7-5? Let's go into endgame analysis because we're done.
Yeah, we're actually done. What can we say? It's very useful Sven, this game, of course.
Strong.
What a pro, using Warcry maybe 2 times or twice, landing it on himself and once on a teammate, I think, so...
Oh, here comes a huge Sven stun against like 20 units, but dies, okay. No, I think we're being dicks and hating on the Sven because... I don't know, I just dislike Sven as a hero. And I think 7-5, same thing.
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Okay. So why? I think this game give it a showcase in terms of why Shadow Demon is OP. But if we look at a scenario where it's not so lopsided, what is he still good for? What is he still good at? Because this game he's just walking up and getting kills. Like it's not.
I think you just gotta think more about what is that you're not good for. And we actually saw the latest game of Na'Vi against MYM. I think the Shadow Demon has been in the pool and neither of the teams has picked it up. And I think the reason for this is quite obvious. He's just, sometimes, he just is going to be incredibly useless, especially if there's going a lot of push and aggressive play on. Because what the hero basically lacks is high burst damage. He can't give you that. He only got his damage amplify, and if you use him to engage ganks, you might even lose a lot of time. If you use your disruption, there's 2.5 seconds for the enemies already to react, getting some TPs going maybe, and also if he's against a heavy creep support, and yeah, he's just going to be killed off so easily then. It's very hard to describe, but I already saw some games of that kind. So he's a hero you shouldn't always pick up first. There are strategies that count him very, very well, actually.
So are you suggesting something like, I guess a little bit more creep based, like maybe Chen or Enchantress, who have a okay time at least against the Shadow Demon?
Yeah, he's very weak in terms of just going on. If the fights are happening too early, he will be useless because yeah, will just be able to spam his poison anyways. If you play him on support, he won't even level it up, I guess. And yeah, you still got to keep in mind he's an anti-carry hero, so you gotta play him against carries and not against push strategies.
Yeah. So personally, at the very least, I've been just blindly picking Shadow Demon right at the opening pick because I feel like he still adds a lot to the team. But yeah, like 715 said, maybe if you're clan warring and looking into what to pick, maybe Shadow Demon might not be the absolute best first choice because there are smart teams that could get around that. We'll see though. And now we have the Radiance being finished on the Bear. What does a Weaver have? A Weaver's actually got the Radiance, so I'm quite surprised. Despite his losing every Rax, every tower, he's got Radiance in 20 minutes. That's not bad. But now,
yeah, we saw a nice shackle shot engagement here though, and Venge is going to be swapped, going down. Clock is actually going in
like an absolute champ. He's more.
Yeah, Syllabus still got Aegis.
Here comes Sven being useful for the second time, maybe. His cooldown.
There you
ultimate.
go. Ultra kill. What up?
Who was that?
What a pause.
Who's K?
Just there. Hi. I'm still playing this game.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. Let's not, because there's still like 20 more minutes of this game, according to my damn timer.
What? How much?
No, I'm suggesting like, or exaggerating. There's like 5 more, but
yeah, 5 more.
I think every non-Chinese team would have GG by now, and for good reason, because the game's over. So
yeah, well.
Okay, so Shadow Demon Imba, Sven not so much. I think the summary for this game.
Well, come on. Well, we gotta admit that Sven had no chance because, you know, Shadow Demon could just purge him when he uses his ult, so that was unfair actually.
Yeah, and
maybe Sven a good hero, who knows?
Yeah, well,
Shadow Demon just Imba counter.
No. let's not stretch ourselves too far here. Okay, I think we're done. We're just wasting everyone's time here now. So,
yeah.
Okay, this one is definitely not our. Well, tell us what you think about this one. It's different.
Well, I think about this one, KDX got already outpicked at the start. Not only because of the Shadow Demon, but also because their lanes were somehow shit because of that Sven. You just gotta admit that. And well, they don't have the real late game carry to cope with the Syllabir, so they don't have. Well, they have some team fights, but Clock still is not that good of a team fight. He's a good engager, but they don't have the real power to follow it up. I mean, Pugna Ward is great for team fights also, but they just lack like the really heavy shit, like an Echo Slam, just going in for an ultra kill maybe, and that's what really is really missing at the Sentinel side. So they can't turtle, they can't really push because they don't have. They only have a Pugna basically for pushing. They don't have any creep support or whatever. So actually poor picks, and well, yeah, the play, I don't know, they were outplayed, they were outlaned, so W was just the better team here.
I'll have to want to reiterate from 715 is they lack the heavy shit. Okay, so anyways, I was asking 715, I was asking the viewers what they thought of our commentary, but yeah, yeah, great analysis of the game.
What? Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, that's great, because I was like, oh yeah, you know what, this game was a little bit
Next
wacky.
time speak up, man, it's not my fault, I blame you.
Oh, my bad, sorry for being Chinese. So, okay, tell us what you think about this commentary. I mean, it's not strategic, but whatever, it's fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, yeah, let's watch this last team fight. I mean, let's not be dicks here and watch the whole game. But I think we all know what is going to happen. I mean, sometimes I play off and like, oh yeah, maybe Sentinel could do something. But no, they can't. So, I mean, here comes a swarm. They're trying to do a little bit of AoE damage. Sven is Venge actually focusing on the Shadow Demon, gets 4 staff out. Clock goes in, trying to get something going. He is focusing on the Shaker, but not enough damage. They're actually having a really good engage for now. But if they had a little bit more item on the Weaver, they might actually do a fairly good job. But it's just not enough. You can see the item difference, the level difference. Pugna getting chased away. They're getting 4 or 5 kills now. Rax is going to go down shortly after. GG is going to be said hopefully soon. So that's it. Yeah, GG.
Yep, that's it for this game. That's the GG call.
I think we're done, right? No need to draw it out.
Yep.
Okay, alright. that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. And as always, for 715 and Luminous, this is us signing off. See you guys.